Well, joining us right now to discuss how we're going to be building and strengthening social safety nets, which she touched on, we have with us in our studios this morning Dr. Tanko Sununu, who is the Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction. Good morning and welcome. Good to see you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you.
Well, you heard the words of the chairperson of the WTO right there, and she certainly will know what she's talking about, having served as Nigeria's finance minister and also, chairing some of the first intervention programs that we had, the social safety net, which they had tried to bring about during the Jonathan era. How would you say that we're working right now on building our social safety nets and strengthening them, especially for those who are vulnerable and who could be falling below the poverty line?
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning. And let me start by, first of all, condoling the people and government of Kebbi State. Just yesterday, we lost one of our greatest emir, the Emir of Zuru, Major General Sani Sami. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
Coming to the issue today, is we've all agreed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, at inception, promised to reform Nigeria, to renew the hope. And then during that reform, definitely, even President said there is going to be some pain. The pain must be also mitigated. And that is what exactly the President of the World Trade Organization is talking about, instituting a social safety net that will be able to absorb the shock, that will also be able to protect the vulnerable and then develop a sustainable and durable solution that will make them to stand on their own and contribute significantly to Nigerian GDP. Ours as a ministry, we are given that mandate, and we are working in collaboration with states and local government and also development partners, and in order to see that we protect the dignity of average Nigerian and give Nigeria the hope that the future is better. And in doing that, we had to develop a social register, which is a compendium that contains vulnerable Nigerians. And in operating that vulnerable National Social Register, we do it in a step ladder approach from the bottom to top, starting with lowest level of most vulnerable group, so that we can listen. And so far, the register contains almost 18,900,000 household in Nigeria, which is, if you translate it to an individual, you have over 75 million Nigerians in that social register. And it also goes to show in that social register the distribution of poverty across Nigeria, with the northern part of Nigeria having the highest, with 65% of Nigerians living in the northern part of the country being poor, while only 35 are poor in the south. And also within the north, so when you go into disparate you find that Northwest has the highest, with about 64% of people living in Northwest being poor.
Which is a little shocking. Now that you've just touched on that register, I recollect that there was a real point of controversy, especially amongst the governors in the first days when this particular ministry was started. Yeah. There was controversy as to whether the register was acceptable, because you were in the House of Representatives, you were a lawmaker before you became minister, how a lot of lawmakers used to complain that they don't know which poor people the ministry was touching. So do we now have a register that is acceptable to the governors, acceptable to the ministry, acceptable to lawmakers, acceptable all around?
Well, we have a register that is acceptable by all because of it was systematically collected, generated, and reviewed. But the only thing that is short in the register, which the ministry has worked hard to ensure that a lot of is being done, is the issue of national identity, so as to make sure that you institute transparency and accountability in your disbursement. And that national identity is for each person in the register to have a digital identity of his NIN, BBN, account number, and even telephone number.
So we don't have that yet?
No, we have that now. Okay. That's why we have the disbursement. It just interrupted me. I wanted to tell you this. And I've just mentioned and look at, even if you look at what is in the register, correspond and conform with Multinational Poverty Index report of 2022, which was done by National Bureau of Public Statistics, and Oxford University. Initially, what was used in Nigeria was monetary poverty in assessing the level of poverty in Nigeria, which shows if you use that monetary poverty, 40% of Nigerians are poor. But if you look at the multidimensional poverty, which encompasses of 4 components, it has education, it has health, it has standard of living, it also has works and shock, such as attack and many other employment, how closer you are to the school, this and that. When you look at that national poverty, the level of poverty in Nigeria rose from 40% to 65% because more dimensions are now put into consideration.
Yeah, that's when we had that. Was it 100?
And that has been the register. The register, the actual social register, also conformed with that finding to show that look, there wasn't bias. Where there is higher burden of poverty, as shown by the Multidimensional Poverty Index report, more people were also captured there to reflect the reality on ground. And that's what the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying, that it shouldn't be biased. It should be done according to the statistics, so that when you are reducing the burdens, the world will know that you are acting rightly. And then you must also back it with transparency and accountability framework.
So you have said that the Northwest has the heaviest burden of poverty.
Yes, 64.8% of northern people residing in the northern part of the country are poor. That's what the National Poverty Index has
identified.
As I stated. And even in our own distribution, it conforms to this thing. So far, in the next few days to come, before the end of August, we are going to reach out to 2,119,000 households.
August is ending in a few days.
This way, yes.
In 2 weeks.
I'm telling you, we have all said. You see, the process is such that NASCO, we have a NASCO, National Social Safety Office, that will now harvest vulnerable Nigerians based on their lowest cadre in the National Social Register.
What is the level of intervention? What sort of intervention are you looking at for those Nigerians?
For those Nigerians, for them, it is a rapid conditional cash transfer, of which I've mentioned in one of my interviews. So far, we have disbursed 419 billions to 590 something, 5,968,000, I think, Nigerians. And the distribution, just like the National Social Register, we have distributed 71% to the northern part of the country because they have the highest border, and then 29% to the southern part. And I'm now telling you that another 54 billion, 911,850,000 will be disposed at the end of August to almost 2,119,000 Nigerians households. And this one, we are going to make it in such a way that we are shifting from just making transfer anonymous. It will be done publicly. We'll address people, we'll address the press, we'll also call on the press to witness, and we give data. We can even go into the extent of giving each state what are the numbers of the beneficiaries from that state and amount of their addition. You see, I think where we had problems prior to now was the fact that things are not being made public. And now, as part of our transparency and accountability, we will tell each state, this is the amount we are giving, we are disposing to your state, and these are the beneficiaries. You can confirm, and anybody who wants to confirm can even confirm with World Bank.
How much are you hoping to send to each beneficiary?
To each, the whole, you know, there are 3 tranches of 25,000 each, and that's to make it 75,000 per beneficiary.
Are they're going to get it in 3 times?
Yes, 3 tranches. And then the interval will not be, it's not going to be a long interval, within a short period, so that we can easily discern. People will say 75,000 is nothing. But 75,000 is a big money to a lot of people in Nigeria. And not only that, just recently also, we are rounding off concluding our other programs in terms of providing durable solution, where we intend to, because we have seen flooding all over this. So we are now going to reach over 21,000 farmers through the government enterprises and empowerment program, which is a grant, and it's not a government empowerment, it is a soft loan But however, the loan is free of interest and free of collateral. And each beneficiary will receive 300,000 naira for him to prepare and participate actively in the dry season farming to address food security. And not only that, we are also working seriously to ensure that some of the durable solutions, which you have started last year, we try to double it. And what is that durable solution? The people in the IDPs, we have had a joint partnership between Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, NALDA, and our commission, National Commission for the Refugee, where we are working hand in hand to put a very good understanding between internally displaced persons and their host community. And we have succeeded in doing that. And a lot of them gave out farmland, which together we can jointly, through active participation of IDP, we farmed this thing. I flagged off the harvesting season of the one that was in Plateau State. The minister, the current chairman of Progressive Congress, when he was in the ministry, he was in Borno and Benue State. And this were this. And when we have said that, what we did is a good sharing formula. The IDPs will take 30% of it as their food component. Then the 70% will be uptaken and purchased by government and money given to the IDP to serve as their cash component. Because if you give them food alone without cash component, it doesn't make sense. They will sell the food to get other ingredients. So we are giving this. And that money, that is the food that is procured will also be given to other IDPs to feed. And then we have succeeded in developing their interest in agriculture, and a lot of them are this. So what we are planning now, as soon as we do, we quickly exited them. Because what we are trying to do, and what the global community is teaching now, is not for you to keep people and continue to give them palliative so that they will be palliative dependent. No. Globally, there is gap in terms of funding. So
the idea is to make them independent.
Yes.
So quickly, Honorable Minister, let me ask you this, because this is closely related, even though not directly related. We also received news recently of the closure of a federal government school for the blind, who were seen protesting sometime this month in Lagos. I know that education is not directly under your purview, but I do not know if this particular matter, comes under your ministry.
Yes, I think I was in Lagos. It was really unfortunate situation. I was in Lagos. That day was really hectic. The commandant of the commissioner of police, director, SSS, everybody was there because they are really vulnerable people, and they blocked the access to both international and local wings. So I have to, when I was informed, because the president said every ministry must be very, very proactive. As soon as I had that, we flew together with the MD of the FAN, and we were in Lagos, and I sat with them. And God knows, in less than 1 hour, we were able to understand ourselves, and they unblocked the road, and then access was established. What is the issue? The issue is the fact that really there were 3 issues, or 2, I can say. One, the college was the training. It's a skill acquisition center, so that they can also be empowered to act this thing. So we realized that we asked our PAMSEC, who is now in education, to go for a visit. And he visits the school. The condition of the school for people of special need, most especially blind people, is really not really acceptable. And we are afraid that something more terrible may happen. So we say, okay, in that case, we suspend, and that's what, suspend the training until we put in measures to upgrade the standard in terms of what we have for training and even living condition of the institution. And we factored this into 2025 budget. And then, unfortunately, they've all agreed that they haven't come to the ministry to confirm what is happening. They have not had any discussion with us. And in fact, they called and said alumni. I said, okay, all right. As alumni, you have right to protect your institution. And I can also do that. But the only thing we differ is your approach of blocking road, denying others people right. And they say, okay, they have not also received, there was a time when conditional cash transfer was being disbursed, and they went and they were just out. I say, okay, you see, the whole issue is where you misunderstood it. I say, we are now, right now, I'm in Channel CB. If the management of Channel CB said, those of us in this studio now will receive, their staff will receive 500,000, for instance. Because I'm not your staff, I'm not registered, I cannot benefit from it. You understand? And I told them, you did not get yourself enrolled. And your leadership, they said their leadership did not tell them. And I said, okay, what do we do now? Get yourself enrolled and you'll be given. And I will also have other grants that are coming. So we have agreed that definitely we'll give them, we'll look at them closely, we'll put this state in order, we'll prioritize them in the enrollment of whatever we are going to do. And every one of us are happy, and they really realized that they couldn't come to the ministry. And even they come to the ministry and got things explained to them, probably they wouldn't have acted the way they've acted. And immediately the road was open, and I have to come back. I came back to Abuja. And I want to apologize, please, to all the commuters of that day who suffered unnecessary hardship because of what happened. Please bear with the situation. And as a responsible ministry, will always be up to the task in terms of acting immediately when we had challenges like that. When we pray, challenge may not also reoccur. I mean, Honorable Minister, we're totally out of time because there were so many other things that we wanted to talk with you about. We wanted to speak with you about the World Food Program. We haven't gotten to, because the cancellation of that World Food Program, 300 children, 300,000 children rather, at risk of starvation in Borno State. And they're asking, the World Food Program is saying that they need $130 million just to be able to support that situation before December. I don't know if we have the time to actually talk about that now. Let me just say one thing. It's not 300,000. Yes, that's children. Yes. But the whole thing is the World Food Program has 10 activities in Nigeria with 5 outcomes. Yes. And one of the major activities is the emergency transfer of food and prevention of malnutrition or even treatment. So, and that's considered 70% of their activities, and that's what they are suspending. And that's also another serious funding gap. So what we have now, we have 300,000 children, and we have 1.3 million Nigerians that we need to move in forward. But their funding will not only take care of not only 1.3, but 575,000 Nigerians. And the federal government, through the Mr. President, working in the ministry is working in conjunction with the Office of the Vice President, and we have acted and we are working, and definitely we get things sorted out together with the World Food Program. And not only that, also the ministry, because of improved transparency and accountability, we have received a lot of foreign partners now ready to partner with us. European Union is bringing 1.5 million euro, which will also be taking care of some areas in the northern part of the country, and also in Benue, and then even on the 20th, the Deputy Director General of International Organization of Migration is coming to Nigeria, and we are visiting other conflict-prone areas to see what measures can we put. The other issue is that even the United Nations, just in the next 24 hours, we are going to celebrate on the 19th, we are celebrating the World Humanitarian Day. And what is the emphasis there? To see how we can do much in terms of reducing attack to humanitarian workers and also trying to empower local community with durable solutions so that they can stand on their own. You see, the other issue that we won't have to also run away from it, there are people who have been for the past 8-10 years in IDP camps. That shouldn't be allowed. That should not be allowed. And really, it has opened now with what caused all the crisis, suspension of funding by United States of America to United Nations Organization and many other organs. This is where we are now. So we have all agreed with even United Nations. What we need first is to see how do we create atmosphere through our security agencies to provide safe staying ground, that those people in IDP, we can give them durable solution that they can start on their own in terms of farming, any other handwork that they can do to develop their skills so that they can move out of IDP and then begin to
Honorable Minister, did you say that 19th of August is the World Humanitarian Day?
Yes.
That's tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
Oh dear, we wish we could bring you again.
Tomorrow I will be with NTA, I will be with the Federal Radio Corporation and many other organizations.
Okay, we certainly understand. I mean, we certainly understand that, but you know, certainly we're looking forward to further engagements with you to keep us updated on the activities of your ministry. We have to thank you very much.
Thank you
for coming on the program. Dr. Tanko Sununu is the Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction.